Okay.
So have you seen that Netflix documentary that's been going around? I think it's called the Cecil Hotel.
We've started watching it. We've watched one episode of it. It is actually really good and really interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear what theories you've got on it.
Yeah, so I actually watched like the whole thing yesterday, and I got to the third episode, and it took quite a weird turn. Like, I'll start from like, if you don't know about Elisa Lam. So basically, she was from Canada and she was bipolar, and she sort of wanted to go on holiday like on her own to try and like prove herself, like to prove to her parents that she could like go on holiday on her own. So she went to LA. She went to a hotel called the Cecil Hotel, and basically it's quite like a famous hotel for like murders. Like loads of homeless people live there. Like I think that Night Stalker guy Richard Ramirez went there and lived there. So it's quite like a rough hotel, like a really rough hotel. So she, I think it's her last day there. She gets in the elevator. She starts acting like really weird in the elevator, like it's like she's having some sort of manic episode. And then I think it's like 2 weeks later, she's found in the water tank. So why it's weird is there's a lot of similarities between Elisa Lam and the movie Dark Water. So the movie was originally produced in Japan 10 years ago, and it was remade in 2005 for a US audience. So it's a horror movie about a mother and a daughter who move into a rundown building with a bad reputation, which is similar to the Cecil Hotel. And also what's quite strange is in the movie, the girl is wearing like very similar clothing to what Elisa Lam was wearing, like pretty much identical what she's wearing. And they're both in a lift, like they're both in a lift when they're wearing the same clothing. There's a scene as well where they turn on the taps and like loads of discolored water's coming out the taps, which is obviously like how she was discovered. Like some of the people that were on holiday there, like you see that British couple in the documentary, they were staying there, and they actually drank her water like as she was staying in the tank, which is quite horrific. Like
it's disgusting.
Yeah,
but no, I've actually seen the film Dark Water, and it's a horrible film. Like it's so horrible. I remember the bits where they turn on the tap and the water's like black.
Have
like
you
coming
watched?
Out of the
did you watch the Japanese version or the US version?
I don't know. I watched it so long ago. Like I was really young when I watched it. So I mean, it was probably the American version, I'd imagine. But it was just a horrible, horrible film.
So obviously, it ends in the little girl. She's on the roof and she crawls in the water tank and drowns in the water tank. So basically, the plot is exactly what happened to Elisa Lam. So like, it's exactly the same. And so people have theorized like it's some kind of like copycat killer, like trying to reenact the movie as well. So also, this is like the weirdest coincidence out of all of them. So days after her body was discovered, like all the residents in the hotel were drinking her water, like the water with her dead body in. A new strain of TB was contracted. Like the whole street, like got a new strain of TB with like tuberculosis. On Skid Row, which is where all the homeless people live. So all the homeless people got TB. And the craziest thing is the test that you give someone to see if they've got TB is called Lam-Elisa. So the test.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's her name is switched around and it's spelled exactly the same.
That is really creepy.
And obviously the test for TB was like developed like way before. Like they didn't just do it. Yeah. So people have said it could be like the Chinese government, like she could be like working for the Chinese government to like create a new strain of TB and give it to American people. Like another crazy thing is the university she goes to, she went to.
She's not turning up now for lectures, is she?
Hope not. The university she attended to was one of the biggest TB research centers in like the world.
That is so strange.
And obviously, the final weird thing is the bookstore that she went to. This was like one of the last things she ever did before she died. She went to a bookstore called The Last Bookstore, which is weird that it's called that.
I said that.
When we were watching it, you did.
But when you look up their address on Google, I think you look up for their like their zip code for like a mailing address. I think it's like a PO box. It comes up with the exact coordinates of the cemetery where like she's buried now.
That's mental.
Which is insane.
This is really strange.
I was. It was actually terrifying, like to watch. Like.
Yeah. Well, we need to finish it.
We do. I mean, I've always known about the Elisa Lam thing since it happened, but when you actually hear, like, when I hear you saying all the little things that sort of coincide with it, it does make it sound too much of like a coincidence, and it does sound really strange.
It's obviously the Lam Elisa thing is crazy. Like
that's so weird.
But don't you think she could have perhaps just been having a bipolar episode?
They go on to like, they go on to explain that. But then there's also this big thing, like she got in the water tank. I won't spoil the ending, but like she got in the water tank, and how could she like put the lid over the water tank? Like, cause it was like 20 pounds or something, and like when you're in there, there's quite a distance between the surface of the water and the top of the tank.
Didn't they say when they were investigating it that the opening of the water tank wasn't big enough for her to climb in there on her own?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and they were saying if she'd have to climb up the stairs, like the ladder above the thingy above the building. So, but no, I think it's crazy, that one.
Yeah, it's very strange. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I definitely felt uneasy when I was getting in the lift to like go to Tesco.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it.
Yeah, that lift video is so strange though. Like, what is she doing?
She's doing weird stuff with her hands, like she's looking around to see like who's following her. But I guess like the psychologist said that like it is in line with like a manic episode, so that does kind of add up. But it does look like she's being followed as well.
It looked like she was doing a ritual.
Yeah, it did look like she was like summoning or speaking to like the dead or something.
I mean, I've seen something somewhere where someone said apparently it looks like she was playing the elevator game, which I don't actually know what it is, but I think it's basically where you have to get into the lift and you press certain buttons in certain order, and you're supposed to end up on some unknown floor that doesn't exist.
Yeah, but they worked out.
Whatever it is.
They worked out some YouTube weirdo like went to the crime scene and like was like looking at the elevator and stuff, and they worked out that the buttons she pressed, like, you know why the lift door wasn't moving like at all, like because she pressed the hold door button and it held the door for 2 minutes or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that explains that. But there's also a bit like if you watch the timestamps like in the bottom left corner, like the time keeps jumping around, like so it's like someone's edited like a full minute out of it, and they don't know whether that was like the police or like the hotel owners. Like it would probably be more likely that it was the hotel owners that did that. But like why is there a minute that is like unaccounted for?
Yeah, surely someone in the hotel has got to be involved somehow.
Yeah. Like, did you see the owner? Like, she gives me like weird vibes, like the hotel owner woman.
Yeah,
there's got to be someone out there that knows something more than they're letting on.
Of course.
I think she definitely knows more than she's letting on.
Yeah, I think so as well.
There was another theory as well about this like death metal guy that was staying at the hotel the same time as her. And I think it was like 2 days after she died, he released a music video, which was called the Cecil Hotel. And he's like chasing a woman, like trying to kill this woman. And then before that, he's released a song like called, I don't know, it's called like China Girl or something. And she's obviously Chinese as well. And it's just crazy. Like he's like talking about murders and like killing her and like talking about drowning a Chinese girl as well. So.
And he was there at the time she went missing.
That's what they think, he was there at the time, yeah. Because he's got a video on his YouTube like, I'm staying at the Cecil Hotel.
That's crazy.
That's really strange. I mean, surely that's all you need to think maybe this guy does have so much to do with it.
Surely the police would investigate a bit.
Oh yeah, like the FBI was all over it and stuff, but they've cleared him.
But they didn't find anything.
No, they've cleared him.
See what struck me? What struck us watching it though? They say how like it's in the middle of Skid Row and it's like got the highest homeless population, like for any city. Surely a young woman staying there, you'd get there and look around and sort of think, I'm probably going to stay somewhere else.
Not the best place.
Not the best place.
And the thing is, it's not like she is. Her first language was English. You know what I mean? Like she's like second generation from China. Like she wouldn't be like in a foreign country like that. It wouldn't be like that. She could just like move somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But apparently she was acting really weird to the people in her room. Like I think it was the night before she died. She was putting notes on people's beds, like saying, "Get out, leave, like get out while you can," stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Then she walked into the reception to the hotel owner, and she was like, I'm crazy, but so is everyone else here," like that. But then you think like the hotel owner like must have some sort of like duty of care there, like to be like, "What are you doing? Like get her some help."
Because something's obviously wrong, isn't it?
Like, but she was just like, it's another day in the Cecil Hotel.
Yeah, I don't like. She made it out to be dead normal, though, didn't she? Like it being like this mental place.
Yeah, when she said, "Oh, we have the police called however many times a day," and like it was normal.
And she
I think
was
that's something like 80 bodies. What do you say?
Sure, she was there for 10 years at the seaside. Like, surely you'd think like, like after like say your first week, if it's kicking off every few hours, you think, I've had it here, I can't do it.
Transferring,
yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't put up with it, would you?
You get a job at Premier Inn.
Have trouble
so
like that at Premier Inn.
So obviously the conspiracy theory is that either there's basically two. So either a murderer was reenacting the plot of the Dark Waters. So what do we think about that one?
Yeah, I think that could be very believable. I mean, the fact that the film came out years before Elisa Lam went missing, and for them to be so similar, even down to the way in which they went to check the water tank because people were complaining about the water. That's exactly what happened in the film. That's exactly what happened with the Elisa Lam case. I think there's so many similarities in it for it to be just a coincidence. So I think maybe somebody could have taken inspiration from the film when it comes to the death of Elisa Lam.
I'd say, obviously she's having a bipolar episode, there's that, and I think that is very plausible, because say if she found, like, it's obviously surrounded by mental people that want to do mental things.
It's definitely proven like that she was having a bipolar episode. Like they go on to say that it's like proven that she was having one.
Yeah, exactly. So, and there's probably people there that are easily persuaded and are up for doing mad things. So
I mean that probably put her in a vulnerable situation as well.
Yeah, I think that's very plausible.
Yeah. And they could have easily killed her. Because she was having like a manic episode, they could have just been like, "Follow me, like go up to the roof, like jump in." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's very believable. I just think it's strange how they can't find any information on what could have possibly happened and who went up there with her or anything like that. Why has no cameras caught anything after the lift video that obviously we've all seen?
And why have they got no cameras on the roof?
Yeah.
Surely you would have cameras there.
Yeah. I think that's strange, unless someone in the hotel has something to do with it, in which the cameras have been switched off or the footage has been erased or something like that.
Yeah. So what'd you give the movie 1 out of 5?
I'll get 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd give it a 3.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3.
I think that's plausible, I'd say.
Yeah.
So then we'll go over to so the Chinese government using her as some sort of biological weapon. It sounds funny when you say that, but like they're saying they basically killed her, put her in the tank, and so everyone could get tuberculosis.
I feel like there's another way they could have done it. They could have contaminated the water a different method rather than this one girl being put in the water tank.
True.
Yeah.